Oh, hell, we got another conspiracy theory. Yep. Yeah, they say when she hits her stomach, Trump is going to wake up. They say Trump is asleep again. Here we go with this foolishness.
Actually, more than a year ago, where we funded a dozen and more major research teams to answer the question of what is the cause of autism. It's a complicated biological to be a simple answer. We'll have
hey, look. Watch how she hits the stomach. Watch. Perfect timing.
Teams to answer the question of what is the cause of autism. Research teams to answer the question of what is the cause of autism. It's a complicated biological.
I tell you, boy, y'all something else, man. Y'all hate Trump so much. I tell you, boy, it's just becoming just a man. I tell you, boy, they hate this man so much. I tell you, boy, the man won an election. Get over it. You know, hell, I'm tired. Ain't we all tired? If Trump is asleep, I don't blame him. At this point, I don't even blame him. I'm tired. I'm tired. Everybody else tired. You know, no matter if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, we all tired. I don't blame Trump. If Trump done dozed off, I don't blame him, hell.
Live now, I'm Austin Westfall. Let's head out to Central Texas. Our next story taking us there, where Fort Hood is investigating what led up to a helicopter crash that killed 2 of its soldiers today in Salado. That crash also sparked a wildfire miles away from Post. Military officials saying the helicopter went down during a routine training flight. Fox 7 Austin reporter Marco Bittinell joins us live near the crash site. He's here with more. Marco, what can you tell us?
Austin, just a heartbreaking story here out of Salado. An AH-64 Apache helicopter crashing down just west here of I-35, leaving 2 service members dead and sparking a wildfire that has now spanned over 100 acres. So it was just around 1:30 this afternoon that the Bell County Sheriff's Office began receiving reports of that crash that happened along FM 2843. When that crash happened, it led to a massive wildfire that is now spread to 155 acres, but it is a 95% contained now. We did have multiple agencies that were on scene helping to get those flames under control, including the Texas A&M Forest Service, which did use a helicopter as well as a plane to spread water and retardant onto those flames. Now, we did catch up to them not too long ago, and they recalled those moments that they first got that call out to this fire and what that response eventually looked like.
We got the call at about 2:20 p.m. today. We already had resources staffing in the McGregor office as well as strategically placed TIFMAS strike teams. We got here within about less than 2 hours, about an hour and a half usually. And then we work in unified command with locals, specifically the Salado Fire Department. We are turning it over back to the locals, but we will have resources on scene today, tonight, and over the next few days to make sure that this fire hasn't jumped our containment lines.
Fort Hood has confirmed that it was 2 of their soldiers killed in this crash, but their identities are being withheld until 24 hours after.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Lord have mercy. You just can't make this up. I know this. We just starting to show a little off topic, but it's trending right now. As you can see, Pelosi says she didn't know of Biden's decline until June of the 2024 debate. Boy. What does this say? What does this tweet say? Let's go and blow it up. Animals are actually smarter than us because in their packs, they don't allow the weaker or retarded ones to lead them. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi claims she did not know about the former President Biden's cognitive decline while he was in office.
I didn't know, but I do think that those who did know should have acted acted upon that information, whatever that means.
Staff.
Whoever knew. The staff is saying the family knew, the family saying the staff.
Look, he's sitting over there like, oh, Lord, no. This heifer ought to be put in handcuffs. For so many reasons, she should be put in handcuffs. There's a lot of reasons that there ought to be handcuffs on this lady right here. And majority of Americans know why. Nancy Pelosi ought to be put in handcuffs. This drunk heifer ought to be put in handcuffs. Don't get me started by insider trading. Don't get me started by J6. Don't get me started. Look at Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz responded to Nancy Pelosi saying everyone knew. Everyone knew. You know. And of course, they're just going to ratio Nancy Pelosi with the clips that prove Biden wasn't there. And y'all better not be laughing. Ain't nothing funny. You know, I'm not happy. It's been a little rough week so far. And then we just lost Caroline Levitt, but I understand she's a mother, you know, newborn baby, spending time with family and loved ones, especially being a new young mom. I understand, you know, but I'm still, it's like a bad and good taste in my mouth still. She will be truly missed, you know, because this previous administration with, you know, the binder lady, she told us that this was a cheap fake, a deep fake. She told us this right here was a cheap fake, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable.
It didn't go well. Biden's re-election prospects, it didn't go well.
Do you regret not speaking up earlier about President Biden's decision to run for re-election?
Let me just say what I did about Joe Biden.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
I only said to President Biden.
And as bad as this guy, oh boy, could wait to get into today's sponsor on today's show because it helped me and it can definitely help you. Come to find out, majority of Americans are overpaying on car insurance, getting ripped out of their shoes. But this is what they love and what they rely on. But less than 2 minutes, completely free, you can find quotes and rates side by side with Smarter Auto Insurance. And this is why I partnered with them on today's show, because you can't beat it. And it's free simply by scanning the QR code on the side right here or hitting the link in the description box down below. It's going to ask you a few questions, the make, model of your car, your zip code, basic information, and bam, less than 2 minutes, you have rates and quotes side by side. So don't miss out. And again, it's completely free. Scan the QR code or hit the link in the description box down below. And hey, miss out on the big savings. You can save hundreds a year. I don't know with the left and the Democrat Party. I don't know why they keep, I don't know why people want to keep hearing from this lady here. And then her drunk husband just have a hit and run a few weeks ago.
I've come to question the polling that you have.
What do you say?
And so, to begin, so it's always a thing about women talking, you know. Those who did know should have acted upon that information.
Yeah, so I love that, Laura.
What?
So Nancy Pelosi, Jonathan Martin is suddenly a misogynist for asking a question that Nancy Pelosi doesn't want to answer. She confronted him about his polling. I mean, the man had been, we chronicled on this show the Biden errors for years.
Oh.
The man couldn't get through his speech. To now pretend like she didn't know, but the family must have known something. Okay, Nancy, they'll be asking her intimates those questions in a few months, Laura.
No, it's absurd.
Yeah, well, Pelosi isn't the only one losing it. Indiana fever.
And all you can do is shake your head, man. And again, that help I be put in handcuffs. And I hate that I had to start the show off with that, y'all. But we had to get that off in the air, man, because it's just a disgrace, you know. But we have just, you know, the update and follow up on the crash that took place. And we seen Trump make an announcement. And as you know, it was a terrifying sight. as a U.S. military helicopter crashed and killing 2 in Salto, Texas. Prayers for the family. And we seen how that played out. I mean, it was not a nice scene. As 2 soldiers were killed when a U.S. Army AH-64 Apache attack helicopter crashed in a field south of Soldado in Central Texas around 1:35 p.m. local time on Wednesday, August 12th. Both pilots on board died. The Bell County Sheriff Office in Fort Hood confirmed. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, man. We send our prayers, love, and condolences, to their loved ones. We hate hearing news like this, Boy, oh boy, oh boy. But y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. I'm so sick of seeing this every single week. Every week, every other week, Trump is sleeping in the Oval Office, they say. Trump is not sleep. It just looked like he's sleeping. Hell, if he is sleep, he tired. Hell, he only get 4 hours of sleep a day. Then I got to see comments. Well, that's his fault, Rick. Especially from these leftists and people that just, hey, y'all gonna hate Trump no matter what he does. No matter if he does anything good, you're gonna hate Trump. Get over it. The man won the election. I got to see leftists in my comment section. Rick, well, I don't care if he tired. He put us in this war of choice, this illegal war. I don't care if he get any sleep at all. But now they got a new conspiracy out of the woman hitting her belly, and Trump wakes up.
Actually, more than a year ago,
Lord have mercy.
We funded a dozen and more major research teams to answer the question of what is the cause of autism. It's a complicated biological phenomenon. It's not going to be a simple answer. It will have
But y'all got it's like the way Trump eyes and like the angle of these cameras, it does make it look, it kind of makes it look like, he's kind of like, but then again, it's like you see Trump fully moving, like you see him fully moving, but at the same time, it does look like he kind of like, like I've been saying for the last few months, every time we get this, everybody says this. And I told y'all, if Trump comes out with a wrinkle on his jacket or shirt, everybody's going to talk about it. Everybody's going to blow it up. These leftists, they're going to spin it. If anything happens, just a small little inch they can get, it's going to blow the entire internet up, man. So I tell y'all, when y'all see Trump, and this is why every time he goes out, or if he goes to the game, or if he goes to an event, Trump fell asleep. Oh, Trump sleep again. Trump fell asleep. Trump fell asleep at the basketball game. Trump fell asleep at the football game. It's the same thing over and over and over. Just when they get that right camera angle on President Trump, man. And hell, if he is asleep, y'all let me know. If he sleep, hell, ain't we all tired? If we being honest, ain't we all tired? We all tired, hell. In your 20s, your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, we all tired. Honestly, the man has inherited a complete mess, and this thing has been shot way before Trump came along. I know now he's the president, so of course he has to be blamed for everything. Whether you want to hear this or not, it's just truth. Trump has got to take the blame for everything, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, he knows it. A plane can fall out the sky in Japan, and it's his fault. Miss Rebecca can fall down the stairs. It's Trump's fault. Miss Rebecca can go through the drive-thru at McDonald's, get on the scale when she get home after eating, and see that she gained 10 pounds in the last week, and she gonna blame Trump. It's gonna be Trump's fault. It's always gonna be Trump's fault. But she the one that went through that McDonald's drive-thru and went over her calorie intake. It's still going to be Trump's fault. Like I say, if we want to blame somebody, blame ourselves. We could blame previous administrations, previous people, these last couple of decades, there's a lot to be blamed before this man came along, if we want to be completely honest. But people hate the sad truth, the harsh truth, the real truth. They don't want to hear it. This thing has been shot way before Trump came along, the corrupt scam matrix. Now, we want Trump to pull out the magic wand and fix everything. Sadly, that day is not coming. We all want Trump to pull that magic wand out of his butt and just say, hey, I fixed everything, ladies and gentlemen. And you can even go buy a house right now at a 1% interest rate. Woo-hoo-hoo. Sorry, this is not Disney Fairyland Dustland. So sick of this foolishness. Look at this. Biden blames Trump for the border not being secure in 2024. 2026, 15 straight months with 0 border releases.
People are going to know that the only reason...
like I said, there's a lot of things that have been taking place, a lot of good things, a lot of things we can't even talk about, because a lot of other stuff we want to talk about and other foolishness. But we actually have a president. And it seems like one side is just a little bit more normal, common sense. Even though tons of y'all are pissed off with these Republicans, and I am too. The John Thunes. I think people ought to be walked out in handcuffs if you ask me.
Border is not secure as Donald Trump and his MAGA.
Then they want to call him a leader Thune. He ain't. I don't see none of them as any kind of leaders or any kind of this or nothing.
Groceries are way down. Everything is way down.
Look at this leftist account. Look, y'all like let me just read this. Holy, Trump just ruined any chance for Republicans to win the midterms. Trump says, I don't want to hear about affordability. And we know why Trump says this. I will play it.
Our costs are way down. Our groceries are way down. Everything is way down. And the press doesn't report it. The press reports whatever the con people say. I call the Democrats con men and women. They make up numbers. So I don't want to hear about the affordability. Our energy costs.
And Trump's making a great point. And I can tell y'all this, in 2028, let's say the left wins, a Democrat wins, right? It's going to be the same cycle. The same thing. And it's going to be the same ones that said, I can't wait till Trump get out of office so I can vote for the blue. So they can make us be able to afford everything like it was back in the day. Where rent was only $200, where I could have money to go play bowling and go out and get a beer and hang out with my buddies, get a car wash, and gas was so low I can go inside the store and get me a scratch off and a Pepsi or Coke with the glass bottle, a bag of candy, and still come outside and my gas still pumping. Them days are over with. And it's going to be the same cycle. When another Democrat wins, y'all still going to be complaining. It's going to be the same thing. It's still going to be getting worse. And come to find out, the numbers that the Biden administration had, this man has dropped those numbers so much. Now, it ain't dropped to the point where it's just a huge difference, but he has dropped those numbers. 60-70%, and he gets no credit for it. And we know what the previous administration did. If you don't know, go do your research. But the majority of Americans know. I don't have to repeat it on here. But we know about the national security emergency and this push for the Save America Act, the Common Sense Act. But voter ID, proof of citizenship, and limit mail-in ballots, because everybody's on the ballot. The ballots come in through the later days of the night. The dogs on the ballot. Illegals are on the ballot. I shouldn't have said that, huh? Dead people are on the ballot. They say my grandma was on the ballot. She died 20, 30 years ago. Grandma, they still say you alive. I'll tell you. But you just can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. And we know this whole thing and how disgraceful it's been and how they spent this whole thing with, Air Force One, and CNN and the fake news media ought to be ashamed of itself. Bunch of foolishness, man. We see these Trump memes. The Trump hair memes have literally broken the internet this past 2 weeks. How y'all think about these Trump memes with the hair? Let me know in the comment section. I'll tell you, man. We got this drunk heifer here screaming about the Save America Act. It's going to make it hard for you to vote.
SAVE Act, which basically would require that for people to register to vote, you're going to have proof of who you are.
And she has such a low IQ. She just gave the Republicans and Trump an ad. Yeah. You need to have proof of who you are to vote in our elections. That sounds like common sense, ma'am. You basically just proved our point. Making this video, going against it. Such a low IQ. Incompetent. This is why she lost every single swing state. The popular vote, electoral, all of it. And we need to relook at the electoral college. We need to expand the Supreme Court. We need to do this. We need a bunch of foolishness.
This president is trying to push this SAVE Act, which basically would require that for people to register to vote, you're going to have proof of who you are. This president is trying to push this SAVE Act, which basically would require that for people to register.
Oh, man, I tell you, boy, I'll tell you, what a time to be alive, man. What is this?
Please slow down and stop. What is it?
Hey, y'all something else, man. These anti-Trump posts are something else, man. Trump trying to reach a deal with Iran.
Wait a minute. Why is Michael just lying there? Well, why on hell, please?
Y'all are something else, man. The internet is something else, man. What a time to be alive, man. I'll tell you, it says Democrats are going to impeach you again. I tell you, boy, the midterms are coming up, y'all. Hope y'all are ready, boy. Buckle up, man. Hope y'all enjoyed tonight's show. I get to come over here and have fun with y'all, talk a little trash, man. I've seen Pete Hegseth trending earlier, The
A-triple.
And they hate Pete Hegseth, boy. They hate him, They say Pete Hegseth is drunk.
See, which is we do bad. That's why today we
shout out to you, Pete.
Launched the motto of the
crack open a cold one for me, please.
Triple C, which is we do bad things to bad people. Because for too long, bad people did bad things to good people inside the United States of America and across Central and South America. And we're going to empower great Americans and great partners to do really good stuff and be very capable about bringing violence against drug cartels and designated terrorist organizations, because we're dead serious about securing the homeland. That's
what. He said something on Cuba. Here it is right here. I want to play this.
But the president says Cuba will be next. Is there a military role in that?
Like I've said before, and I think you've seen what happened in other cases, all options are on the table, to include military options. And I think Cuba would be wise to pay attention to the willingness of President Trump to assert American strategic prerogatives, and there's certainly no match for the United States of America. And if you see what foreign influence has been able to do in our hemisphere, it's been pretty minimal. The Russians and the Cubans and the Iranians in Venezuela, the way that countries have moved toward the United States, toward the ACCC, toward this partnership, they understand where the balance of power lies, especially in this hemisphere. And that certainly pertains to Cuba. So we're going to have a lot of options there. and we look forward to it. So
Sorry,
I'm going to thank one last question, and then I'm going to get these folks back to training.
If I may, real quick, when you talk about respect for the sovereignty of countries, is the U.S. considering?
What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. What a time to be alive. I tell you, we don't know what to expect next and how things are going to play out, but hey, buckle up. Buckle up, man. I love y'all. God bless you all and your family. If you're new here, join the family. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share today's show. You know, we going to come on here, have fun, keep it real. But just know that Rick is sick of the foolishness in this corrupt scam matrix.